Today's edition. The way you do anything is the way that you do everything. Hey man, I remember back when we was gonna start this business thing. It was I want to say it was 2000. It was 2014ish, 2014ish or something like that. Shout out brother Joe, man, Mr. Phenomenal. Got me into the business. Anyway, it was one of those down line. It was a down line, like a pyramid. Passive income. Forgot the name of that joint, but I wanted something. I wanted to try something new. I was up for a challenge or whatnot, a new task. Long story short, I didn't really. That wasn't my niche. And my brother Joe, man, he had hit me one day, and trying to help. He said to me, what was I struggling with? And I'm just like, the whole pitch wasn't my idea of what I was going to get into, or my idea of business when doing a business, right? So he basically told me, like, if you don't finish this, you're gonna go through all your businesses, all of your endeavors the same way. Basically, the way you do anything, it's the way that we do everything. And at the time, I didn't get it. I didn't really get it at the time. I wanted out, but long behold, that's become one of my favorite quotes, man. I live by that, man. That's that's your integrity. That's your commitment to your commitment. That's finishing what you started. You understand? That's accountability. That's ownership. It's easy to take ownership of, when things are going good, to own, good situations when everything is going well for you. But then when things aren't going well for you, you have to equally own it. You got to take ownership of it, take responsibility of it, take accountability of it. You understand? That's integrity. That's character. And that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to build that in your DNA with all things. So again, the way that we do anything is the way that we do everything. Not when the camera's off, you're somebody else, or not when when you're one way on the court and then you get off the court, you're somebody else. You're one way in business, but then you're another way in some. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I'm saying I can apply that in my experience to virtually anything. And virtually anything. It's the way you coming. It's the way you showing up. People are humans we all human at the end of the day, but at the same time, it's perspective. It's the way that you see the world, the way that you see yourself is what you're going to reflect. We're manifesting the image, being made in the image inside out. That's who you are. It's bigger than facade. That's why facades don't hold up. That's why facades don't hold up. You know what I mean? Man, like I said, man, it don't happen overnight, man. It's work that goes into this. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's really, as far as I go, I gotta find, I find appreciation like right now. I appreciate, the peace. The quiet. Being able to breathe, man. Getting the opportunity to live again. Today's edition, man, we made it. This is fruition. Hit that like and subscribe. What what is some of your favorite quotes? The way that we do anything is the way that we do everything. Man, that's a staple, man. I live by it. It's one thing to gain a jewel from your peers. It sticks harder, it hits harder, man. Man, that's the model right there, man. I mean, it's a real complete thing, and you work on it, you work it, man. The objectives get 1% better every day at self and healing, at becoming, at being. I find the gratitude, I'm grateful for the very little smallest things, and the smallest things I do, down to the person I speak to daily that don't ever say nothing back, yeah, down to the, to the customer that got an excuse not to pay, I mean, man, I could find something in that, like that I can love, that I appreciate, because these are all opportunities, we ain't have to be here, we ain't have to be here, man. So I tell you no lie, I mean, I'm loving it, and it's better than it used to be, straight up. And it's a beautiful thing, man. Find that gratitude, man. Get you a gratitude session and routine, man. Any opportunity I get to learn something or teach something, about life, just an experience. Just the experience, man. Try and be happy, man. Live as long as you can, man. Try to be happy and live as long as you can, man. Yeah. It don't even, what is life? What is life that you have to desire it? Like, what is the meaning of life that you would have to desire it? These subscriptions and these things going down the feed, these suggestions, this social construct that we every time we bored, we tap into. It's almost like it's you reach for your phone, within your third step, like we're programmed to do it. It's us against the computers. Remember Terminator? Remember the Terminator, right? It's just marketing different things. And then, these things are placed in front of us, whereas though, like, yeah, we want these things, sort of like, when you got money, you got abundance of money, you can find all these things to buy, cars, clothes, vacations, and things like that. And then you look for fulfillment in those things, and it's not, the novelty runs out. And then you're hoarding at some point, right? You try to get that feeling back. That's the dopamine, that goes into the dopamine thing, right? It's no essence there. It's no substance. That's just material. That's a whole bunch of things going on there. You know what I mean? And we accept it and we acknowledge those things, while I don't want to say ignoring, but or oblivious to the things of that's invaluable, that's invaluable. You know what I mean? That robin that, chewed, or that what's the other bird? It's a robin over in my crib, and it's a cardinal. That cardinal that just jumps on, while I'm going to throw something away in the trash, and the cardinal just is sitting on my windowsill. That's invaluable. That's that moment, that has the same source energy as we do. What's happening in that moment? What's really happening in that moment? Those things. How do we overlook that for? You know what I'm saying? Like what's going down the timeline? And that's the gratitude. You know what I mean? That I share. You know what I mean? Daily with those little things. The little dog that looks at you, right? It's just living, man. It's just life, man. Everything is moving, man. Everything. Everything's moving, man. Everything's moving, nothing's sitting still, and the living things is where it's at, man. These moments, man, you gotta appreciate it. You gotta appreciate it, man. Yeah. And I try to find that thing, when I get a moment, I try to find that thing. You got the opportunity to be resourceful. That, it might not be, much, you know what I mean? But if it's benevolent, it's, it's to the good. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's not, that's not a mass. That's not in vain. That's not doing it, that's not doing it for the vine, you know what I mean? That's where the essence is. And when you do it like that, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. Got a lot of heart. Man. And you got to do it with your heart. If you want to do it at all, do it with your heart. I got to have 2-3 things I want to do before I come outside. Or I might just lay, man. I might just lay, every scene I can't make. Listen, I don't do well in those settings if it ain't on that same vibration or frequency. I don't do well in those settings, so I remove or I separate myself from it, and those individuals as well, because it's going to show. And and it's like, if I gotta reach for it, it's like, if you gotta reach for it, then that ain't, that's not my vibration anyway. You know what I mean? That we ain't, anybody, don't matter who it is, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's the experience, you know what I mean? People grow up, and we let hands go. You know what I mean? We stay letting hands go and moving our own separate ways. People grow at different paces. You know what I mean? Your direction and, your trajectory and final destination could be the same as mine, but our paths are different. Our journeys and our the way we started from may be different, is different. We create this realm, this universe, our very world that we live in, and we, and you put all the props into play, put all the motion, the parts in motion, moving where you needed to go. Everything has a role to play. Everybody has a role to play. So it doesn't make sense for me to be a giver, right? With a sense of gratitude, with a sense of with abundance mindset, appreciative, being surrounding myself with a bunch of takers that have a selfish mindset and ungrateful, aura and being in vibration sort of thing going on like that. Those two things doesn't match up. So that means, you're playing playing double dutch. You're not, you understand? You're doing a certain thing with one group or sometime part of the time, then you're doing another certain thing, another part of the time. And the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything. So that characteristic characterizes you to not really have the integrity that maybe you promote on this side, and yet you get around these folks and it's another kind of way. That's doing the double dutch thing. You living a double life. That's a double whammy. No pun intended. You know what I mean? Do you? All I'm saying is, it's another part to that. Let me add this. When we're elevating, nobody's perfect. It's not even about being. Matter of fact, we all perfectly imperfect. Okay. What I'm saying is, a mere conversation long enough can pull you into doing that. Surrounding yourself with spending too much time in a certain place around a certain camp too long can pull you into that, because you gotta remember when I say when elevating, you have to be, it takes more awareness and more, straight and narrow, right? So if it's no point, like straight and narrow really doesn't give too much wiggle room to, even do certain or entertain certain things anymore, right? So far as, going out with doing certain things maybe that you used to do, man, that's in the past. If we could remember it, it's in the past already. If you remember, it's the past already. Been there, done that. You've been through that. So certain things, like I said, I don't even talk a certain type way no more. I don't even really want to entertain it or listen to it. I don't even want to listen to it. I really don't. And if that makes me weird, good. I like to be weird. But nah, just, that's not what we doing. You know what I mean? It's a purpose, and I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. And that requires me to be on point at all times. So I can't go get that drink. I can't go to that place and hang out. I'm not going to be, you got to stay on point. Because like I said, it's a mission, and we got places to go. We might be going to the same place at the end, but guess what? My path has to go this way, and along that way, I can't do it. I got to do it this way. And if you're going with me on this way, you got to be moving. You got to be on point too. Or else, you fare well, the best you can, the way you can, the way you can, because yeah, man. Yep. The way we do anything is the way that we do everything. You had to make these, had to build habits, man, good habits, to replace the bad ones. Work in progress, you know what I mean? The goal is to get 1% better daily. Gain a slight edge over time. Transmute, transmute that energy, 1 degree at a time. It'll get there, believe in yourself, commit to yourself first, be loyal to yourself first, be good to yourself first, everything healthy, man. Hey, man, it's truly wonderful, man. Glad you can be here with me, man. We made it. This is the day's edition. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. This is Fruition. Peace.